Hey, it is October 23rd, 2023, and I couldn't wait to do this one. Last night, or I should say early this morning, about 3:15, the strangest thing happened to me. I normally wake up around 3, anywhere between 3, 5 in the morning. So that's not, that's normal to me. But this particular time, getting up around 3:15, for whatever reason, I was led to my patio. And when I opened up the door, it's to step outside, it was like stepping into a closet. It was dead air, no night sounds, no cars, just no wind. Like, it was just, the air was so thick. Like, I had to step back inside because it just, with the sensation of no sound, the sensation of the thick air outside, I don't know what that was about. And I wish I had somebody to talk to and ask, what was that about? I've never, ever experienced that. And I've a few times here and there, I will go outside or open up my window and just look out, where I used to live at, and just look out the window if I was led to do that. But if you know what that means, or if you've ever experienced that, let me know, because to me, that was not normal. So, anywho, after I finished that 5th video last night, and I did a mic check before doing this, so I am really hoping that everything cooperates. If not, then I'm not posting this and you're not seeing this right now. Before going to bed, I got my notes. I decided that I was going to put on a healing sound meditation, because yesterday I had just one tiny glass of Prosecco. But before that, I had some coffee and, had the water. And then I was like, well, let me take a step further, get some Prosecco. That was my first mind. I probably should have done that instead of doing the coffee and then the Prosecco. Anyways, my side started hurting later on that day into the night, even while I was recording. I quit drinking last year, I want to say, because of that pain, which could have been avoided. Well, let me reference my notes real quick. So I did it because I have a habit of drinking. Whenever I go out, I gotta have a drink. It's just part of, just the look, the feel, the just, and I can go out without drinking, but in my mind, it's not cool. But I have a habit of nervous drinking. Just kind of takes the edge off. I realized a couple of years ago that was something that I do, nervous drinking. And sometimes years ago, because I'm past that now, but years ago I didn't know how to stop, and then if I'm out, I'm throwing up, and yeah, that was not a fun time. But anyways, back to the sound meditation. It was for like your kidneys, your intestines, the lymph nodes, and I made sure to drink water, plenty of water before doing that. And in this meditation, it has the water in the background along with the healing tone. So I made it in my mind to do the breathing with the tone and the water, breathing in, the heat. There I go with that. And I made a mental note to stop doing, because I absolutely cannot stand that. I made a note to, breathe in, and when I'm breathing in, I was breathing in healing and ease and love and forgiveness. And it reminded me of something the doctor told me last year. Started the final works process for me to got the ball rolling on my gallbladder surgery. And the month that we talked about it, which I believe will be actually a year next month, I talked to this doctor, and I was telling her how back in 2020, I was a whole lot more active. I was working from home, so I was doing yoga, and I was doing, YouTube workouts, and I was a whole lot smaller, not smaller, slimmer. And I was just eating, better, mindful of my weight. I had waist beads. Like, I was doing the damn thing in 2020. But yeah, I was telling her how, I need to get back to that and this, that, and the third. And she said, well, you have to forgive yourself. That's in the past, but there I go with the, I'm so sorry, y'all, because it annoys me too when I have to rewatch this. But you have to forgive yourself and do better moving forward, or something like that. But she definitely said you had to forgive yourself. And it made so much sense to me. And hold on. Okay, yeah. It made so much sense to me. So in that moment when I was like, I'm breathing in healing and forgiveness, that right there, again, just priceless information. And so I was breathing in healing and forgiveness, and was forgiving myself for, forgiving myself for giving in to the pressure that I create within myself to feel like I need to drink when I'm out in public, or because I'm uncomfortable. Let me say this to myself. There's nothing wrong with having a drink while you're out, but let it be you just having a drink, and not because you feel nervous or uncomfortable in a situation, because that only creates a negative thought and feeling and emotion tied to this drink. I like that. That's good. That was one for the books. But so breathing that in, and then exhaling shame and chastisement, and just whatever that was negative that I was beating myself up for, because I had that one drink, and I had that one drink that led to this pain that I didn't have to have, because I could have easily finished my cup of coffee and just drank water from that point, because the main thing running right now is water. For whatever. confirmation. The main thing running in my life right now is water. We actually got some rain today, which, again, I hate that I live smack dab in between units because I can't hear the rain, and I just happened to step to my wind patio door in the afternoon. I was like, oh, we got rain. And then again this evening I was thinking, wow, it'd be really nice if we got some rain. Just a little while ago, I see that it's wet outside. I'm like, man, it's since stopped, so I had no idea. It'd be nice to have a downpour. That'd be great, just throwing it up there. So, it is a week from Halloween. When I was talking about how there was still air, it made me think this morning. I was like, what if this is something tied to the season? What if something was going on in the atmosphere that I just so happened to catch? So yeah, if you have any insight on that, or you've ever experienced that, let me know, because I've never experienced anything like that. To just step outside and it's soundless, and the soundless was so thick, just thick. Oh, and then another thing I've been sometimes I ponder about, so I wrote it down. So when it comes to Cancer, speaking of the zodiac, and there you have the reputation of emotion and feeling. Now, Cancer outside of that is known as a dis-ease in the body. Now, Cancer, the zodiac, is a nurturer, a healer. What if the mission of Cancerians here is to help people navigate their feelings and their emotions, to help rid dis-ease? Because my prime example, the emotion I got yesterday in the restaurant, and I will say, it was a lot of the customers at this restaurant didn't look like me. There were some there that looked like me, but a lot of them, not a whole lot. So it made me a bit uncomfortable. And then it was also, I'm out. So I'm out. I like to drink when I'm out, but I'm also nervous. So there was a bit of nervousness. There was a bit of just, not necessarily overwhelmed, but just, that feeling when you just feel like, there we go again. Just that feeling of just the scenario I just gave, you're out and you just don't see people that look like you, So that created a negative reaction, emotion, feeling. Now imagine me doing that every single day. If I have a habit of going out to eat every day and I grab a drink, then I come home and I'm trying to just decompress from a stressful day, and I'm frustrated, again, a negative emotion, and I drink. Imagine 20 years of doing that. I don't know how long it takes for, I don't know how long it takes for damage from too much alcohol. I don't know how fast that happens, but this emotion, this negative emotion, created a dis ease in the body. So it could manifest in someone who's always drinking as cirrhosis of the, again, I am not a doctor, so let me just say that if you got a health condition, please go to the doctor. You know, kidney issues, pancreatic issues, liver issues, all of this dis-ease in the body, all from a negative emotion that was tied to drinking, or tied to drinking. Something to think about. So, cancer is emotion in the body. Manifested as a dis-ease. Just something I kind of think about from here or there, time to time. Just random stuff. Do you just random stuff. Do you ever think about stuff like that? And I haven't discussed this with anybody. I might have written it down in a journal, but yeah, it's just something I think about now. I don't think about, any other zodiac signs. I mean, each sign is special in its own way, and they all contribute in their own special way, as again, we are not tied to just our sun sign. You have your moon, you have your rising, and then again, I feel that as of lately, since I've mentioned I've been operating in air energy, it can change. So, like, air is not even my top three. My sun sign is water. My moon sign is earth, and my rising sign is fire. So, but I know that I'm more than just those three. So I think I'm gonna cut this short tonight unless something else randomly pops up. I am watching something on Netflix, and I feel a spiritual connection to it. I'll talk about it probably in the next one. Just trying to digest what I'm thinking and what I'm feeling about it. It was very interesting. Today started off kind of weird, and I'm connecting some of my recent life experiences to this series I'm watching on Netflix. Like, there's no, okay, so let's go ahead and talk about it, because there's no point in trying to be cryptic about it when I need to go ahead and get this out. So recently, in a tarot reading, a boo hag, I believe that's what you call it, they talked about a boo hag. And for whatever reason, like yesterday, I think, and even this morning, I just woke up with wanting to do my own research on it, because I've heard the term before many, many, many years ago. And so basically my interpretation of a boo hag is, well, it said, when you wake up in the morning and it's just like you didn't even go to sleep and you're just so tired, it's because a boo hag was basically sucking up all your energy while you were sleeping. And yeah, that's, I believe, but again, do your own research. Like I said, if do your own research on it. So watching this series on it's Sabrina the Teenage Witch, I believe that's what it is. I used to watch the cartoon back in the day. I watched also when it was oh, what is her name? Was it Christina? I used to know her name, the main character, the actress that played her. I watched that. Let me say this series on Netflix, I got kind of annoyed with it real quick, but I kept watching. But I'm pretty far in. I don't even know what episode I'm on, but one of the episodes, there was this demon that kind of the same thing. She tormented people in their dreams, and that was called a baddie bat. And I'm just like, is this a coincidence that I'm wanting to do research on this other demon and then this pops up in that? Is this a coincidence? And I know I said there's no such thing as coincidences in my life, and I'm just like, Spirit, what are you trying to tell me? And I've had maybe one or two more moments while watching this series, and I just feel like I need to be paying attention to this stuff. Let me just say, I've always been interested in okay, the books you read, what's the stories you read in the dark, stuff along the lines of that. I was always interested in those books when I was a kid. Then when The Craft came out, oh my God, let me tell you, Nancy, she was portrayed as the bad guy. In a way she was, but she fell victim to just wanting to be extremely powerful. And in a way, I feel bad for her. Sometimes I do root for the bad guy, but bad people tend to be victims who are just, they're hurt and they're misunderstood. But again, but because I've mentioned this prior, hold on. I don't condone violence and all that, but villains are usually victims of something. But yeah, saw that in theaters, changed my life. I didn't get into the Harry Potter books. They came out when I was in middle school. I'm telling my age and I don't care. Because in a few years, I'm going to be a baddie that is 40. I'm a baddie now. I'll be a baddie when I'm 40 and 50 and 60. But where was I going with this? Please hold while I catch my thoughts. Yes, Harry Potter. Didn't get into the books, even though I absolutely loved to read back in the day. The library was my sanctuary. I didn't get into the books, but the movies, yes, I probably missed a whole lot in the books, but the movies did it for me. Southern House, I don't care. Be mad. Harry Potter, yes, he was the hero and what have you, and yes, but put me in Slytherin, please. trying to think of other movies along those lines. I've always been interested in those things. I really have. This is nothing new to me now. My spiritual path and my walk, you know, this wasn't always here. There I go again. And I'll have to get on my background, my religious background from earlier on. I'll get in that a later time. But yeah, I just wanted to mention that, it's really good. It really pulled me in. I just put it on just to have something on, but I really got pulled in, and it's pretty good. I like it. Definitely gives it a darker, but in a good way, view of Sabrina's life, the background on her and her aunts. And I don't remember there being a character called Ambrose in the cartoon, or even in the Melissa Hart. There we go. I think it was Melissa Hart is her name. I don't remember, but there's a character in this new one. It's her cousin, and he's always referring to cousin. Call her by her name, please. That's annoying. So, if you're like me, there'll be some points in that series that you will be annoyed by, but and then there'll be some subtle things if you pick them up. I'll put like this: if you know, you know. But there will be some subtle things that'll kind of just be like, it's gonna make your eyebrow raise. Do like this, and you're gonna have some of those moments too in there. But after you sweep that under the rug, then it's still back to enjoying it. I am going to go ahead and end this. What was my sign off last night? It was something about peace. I need to write it down. Someone told me to write it down too. I think it was stay in perfect peace. But if it wasn't, then as always, stay in perfect peace.